It's Jacko Knight once again with a collector series video. I collected way too much shit growing up. I don't know what my problem was. When I grow up, I have a feeling I'm going to be on hoarders. But anyway, let's get started. Today we're going to do Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, my collection. Now, growing up, I was always a Nintendo fan. I hated Genesis. It was a good system, but it wasn't like today where you could own a PS3 and a Wii, or a Wii and a 360, or whatever. You were on one side back then, either Genesis or Super Nintendo, and I was on Super Nintendo's side. I always used to talk shit to all my friends, But later, I decided to, I appreciated the Genesis games, and I decided to collect a lot of the ones I never played and stuff, so let's go ahead and get started. Castlevania Bloodlines. That was a good game. And some of these I have in the original case, like Hook. I don't know if I played this one. I played the Super Nintendo one, and that one was good. I think basically they're close to being the same game. This game was fun. Evander Holyfield's KO Boxing. And I should fix the exposure. Is this game even in here? Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog. Not for resale because this came with a system. I think you could buy them, but I think that one came with a system. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. If I could hold it up. Sega Genesis. World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. There was a Castle of Illusions, and that one was good. A lot of people like it better than this one, but I played this one a lot when I was a kid at my friend's house, and I liked the crap out of it. Well, add one to my Nintendo collection I didn't have in my previous one, Ikari Warriors 2. I don't remember playing this. That's what I want to do, just play a lot of these games. And when I didn't have this drawer where I could fit all my socks and miscellaneous Jekyll Knight masks, I had all my socks in this box, and I named it Socks Box. These are Rhino games, a local video game store that lasted like 2 months. Another copy of that. Alright, what else do we have in here? Weird Al, the Complete Al. This is actually a bootleg DVD my brother made. He was obsessed about Weird Al. Another copy of that. Jackass 3D glasses. Why is that in here? I don't know. Earthworm Jim. I forgot which versions were better. I like the Super Nintendo ones, but the Genesis ones were pretty good too. They were really close. Hard as freaking hell, but Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 for the Genesis. And a lot of these Genesis games I never really played, because keep in mind I didn't have this system when I was a kid. Game Genie. Love Game Genie. Miss Pac-Man. Streets of Rage 2. I forgot which ones were the good ones. There was a couple really good ones. I think 2 was one of them. Desert Strike. I don't remember this version. Once again, I played the Super Nintendo one. That one was hard as hell, but fun. I only beat it with Game Genie. Six Pack. What the ladies say I have in my fridge. Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, Super Hang-On. 6 games in 1 cartridge. Battletoads. I do not remember the Genesis version. Clay Fighter with the fucking messed up cover. I didn't like the Genesis version. The sound was kind of crappy, and I think you had to use the 6-button controller for this. I don't know if it worked on this game, but I didn't like that. I love the Super Nintendo one. Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, now, this was the arguments I had when I was a kid. The ones for Super Nintendo had better graphics, better sound. The Genesis ones had more accurate, it mimicked the arcade fighting pretty good because it had a faster processor than the Super Nintendo. And these ones had the secret blood code. Rated PG, but if you enter this code, it's rated M. Mortal Kombat 3. That's when they started the rating system. Double Dragon 3. I don't remember playing this for the Genesis. Super Street Fighter 2. Now, both versions of Super Street Fighter kind of sucked, because they had to water down the Super Nintendo one just to fit all the characters in. I don't remember this Mickey Mania on Genesis. The Super Nintendo one is freaking awesome. And Drunken Steve did a Let's Play on this one. I've never seen this game beat before, and how to get everything. This game was fucking hard as hell. I want to try to play this one. 6 minutes, gotta hurry up here. Fatal Fury 2. This game was fucking one of my favorites when I was a kid. Fighting Masters. Running out of room here, so... NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Maximum Carnage. Bart's Nightmare. Those Genesis Super Nintendo are really close on those. Mortal Kombat 2. Once again, same differences as Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo had positive. Genesis had positive. I remember they came out with Super Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, and Super Nintendo came out with Turbo. Then they cried, this has less features, so they came out with Special Championship Edition, which had the Championship Edition colors, but with Turbo, speed and other crap. I just found these games over here. Pinbot, just add that to my Nintendo collection. Spy vs. Spy. I actually played the second Spy vs. Spy. It only came out in Japan. And I had NBA Jam Tournament. Oh, there it is. I use this for my one of my last videos on my wrestling channel. NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Originally owned by someone named Frankie. We have Killer Instinct, Kirby's Avalanche. Now I'm gonna do a video one of these days of my Mario Paint animations. They were fucking... I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was a demented kid. Maximum Carnage, Mega Man X. That was a Mickey Mania that I remembered. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. Mortal Kombat 2, Rock and Roll Racing, Samurai Showdown, Simpsons Bart Nightmare. I like that one on Super Nintendo. Star Fox, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 2. I barely remember that. Super Double Dragon. The game you got for free. Super Mario All-Stars. Tournament Fighters. Add that to my Genesis one. I like the Super Nintendo one better. Super Mario All-Stars Plus Super Mario World. That one came out later, and you had to pay for it. Super Mario World came with the system. Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Mario World, Tetris 2, Tetris Attack, Tetris, and Dr. Mario. They milked the fuck out of Tetris. It was like the exact same game. This was a good game. TMNT Tournament Fighters. I like that one. Turtles 4, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Urban Strike, Wolfenstein 3D. Now on the Super Nintendo, I'm not going to pull it out. There's these tabs on the bottom, and they have those so you can play American Super Nintendo games. But you couldn't play Super Famicom games unless you got a pair of pliers and ripped those two tabs out on the system. Then you could play these games. This is This one is Flota Banzai Tetris 3, Yo Soy Dicarus. This one is And this one is Atlas. If you're Japanese or Chinese, I'm sorry, I'm being an asshole. Super Game Boy. I just pulled this out of my box. I wasn't going to show it, but I'll show it anyways. Nintendo GameCube Game Boy player, Game Boy Advance player, whatever. You always had to have a freaking NES cleaning kit and a Super NES cleaning kit because these games got freaking dirty. 2 Game Genies. So I showed everything here. I showed everything on top. Animaniacs. That game was fun as hell. ActRaiser. Another classic freaking game. Had an awesome soundtrack. ActRaiser 2 I didn't like that much. Batman Forever. Like Batman platforming mixed with Mortal Kombat. Battletoads and Battlemaniacs. Battletoads Double Dragon. Super Castlevania 4. Castlevania Dracula X. Clay Fighter. And this is something I always got to thank my mom for. Clay Fighter Tournament Edition. Only available at Blockbuster for rent. But at one time they had it on sale for like $80. Like more than any other Super Nintendo game. My mom actually bought it for me. I love the Clay Fighter series. C2 Judgment Clay. Contra 3. Another game that was weird but fun but hard. Dennis and Menace. 11 minutes. I gotta find a way to shorten these collections. I just have too much. Desert Strike. Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country 2. Donkey Kong Country 3. Those are freaking classic. Well, the first 2 at least. The third one never really played. Doom. Double Dragon 5. Earthworm Jim 1 and 2. I don't know why I love this game, but Faceball 2000. It was such a shitty fucking game, but I found out a code how to, make your shit faster, start at any level. Freaking awesome for me. Fatal Fury, Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, F-Zero, Hook, the game I played like Jungle Strike, and Drunken Steve did one of Jurassic Park on the Genesis. I should do one on the Super Nintendo. The game was fucking hard as hell, and when you beat it, you got a congratulations. Well, I'm going to give my subscribers and viewers a congratulations for making it through yet another of my collection series videos. This just shows you, I think this was after high school, because I always had games. I was poor as shit. I didn't, have a lot. But then when I got a job and could afford to buy my shit, I fucking went crazy and started collecting all this shit. And all the shit there. And all these big old heap and stack of Genesis games. But this has been another collection series video. Hope you enjoy. What else do I have? Yeah, I think that's about covers a lot of my other... Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Virtual Boy. That one's going to be next. That's all for this video. Checo Knight signing out.